Hi, this is Rebecca from rebeccascrafts.blogspot.com, the Crafting Mama, and today I am going to show you how to make some cute St. Patty's Day t-shirts for your kids using fabric and cutting the fabric with the Cricut. So here we go. What you need is some fabric, and then you're going to need a product like this. I'm using Heat and Bond. There's another product called Wonder Under. And basically it's transfer paper. It's how you transfer designs onto t-shirts. So what I have here is I'm going to cut with the Cricut a pot of gold with a rainbow coming out of it, and I've already cut my letters that say Little Leprechaun. So I've cut the Heat and Bond. It comes in a 1-yard sheet to a 4-inch by 4-inch square, and then I've cut my black fabric, which is for the pot of gold, at around 4 inches by 4 inches. And what you want to do is have your iron set on medium heat, and you want to make sure that you bond this to the back of the fabric. So put the fabric face side down, and then this paper is got, like you can see, it's got kind of a sheeny web on one side, and then it's kind of like freezer paper on the other side, and you want to do the web side down. So this is all before you cut your fabric with your Cricut. You want to do this before you cut with the Cricut. So it only takes a couple seconds to bond it to the fabric, and you're just gonna, kind of want to check your edge and make sure that it's bonded. Okay, so now I'm going to take you over to the Cricut. Okay, we're back. We're at the Cricut now, and I have my piece of black paper that I did the bonding to, and we need to put it on the mat. Now the one thing that I have done is I'm using a rather old mat. You can kind of see it's got lines and paper digs on it, and you bond it to it, and you want to tape it down. And the reason being is I did try it with a brand new mat, and it basically just kind of ripped the paper off the back, and it wasn't so easy to get things off of. So you want to, I'm going to use the Cricut Craft Room to cut this. So I'm going to bond this together. Sorry about hitting the camera there. I have a piece of tape over here. And you're just going to kind of want to make it stuck, sure it's stuck down. Another piece of tape here. You can also do this technique with paper. Just use Scotch tape to, if your mat's getting old and sticky but you really don't have any other mats and you want to get a project done. I have done that where I've just used Scotch tape to tape the corners of the paper down. Okay, now what we're cutting today is, this is the Simply Charmed cartridge, and we are going to cut this pot of gold with the rainbow coming out. So what I've got here is I'm only doing the pot and then the rainbow, so I'm not going to do the gold pieces because I'm going to use buttons as the gold. So I've got all kinds of different colored fabric here for the gold, for the rainbow stripes, and then the black for the pot of gold. And here we go. And I'll come back and show you when it's finished. Okay, so the Cricut is done cutting, and so what I'm going to do is show you how I take this off, and I just kind of peel it up, and you can just take the tape off. By the way, I'm using painter's tape to hold this down. I just kind of found that it worked really well. So what you're going to find is sometimes that it didn't cut all the way through the entire piece of fabric. So you can just take a pair of scissors and kind of finish the cut. So you see there's a couple places where it's just kind of sticking, and you might just be able to pull it, but I'm going to actually use my scissors so that it has a clean edge. And it's really just where it's kind of like a blade dragging effect that causes that. Whenever there's a sharp corner, it kind of does that. And this is a brand new blade. That's the other tip, is you want to make sure you're using a brand new blade to cut the fabric, or else it's going to drag and pull the fabric apart. Okay, so now that we've got our piece cut out, and this is our little pot, I am going to take you over to the ironing board and show you how to finish the project. Okay, here we are. We're back at the ironing board, and we have our little piece, and I had cut out some letters with fabric earlier. Now these little letters were a lot more difficult to do. It cut the basic outline, but then I had to really go with my scissors and get them out. I think if they had been bigger letters, it would have been cut out just fine, but this is a t-shirt for a 2-year-old, so it kind of had to be pretty small. The other thing I forgot to tell you was that my settings for my Cricut, I had the blade depth at 6, the pressure at 4, and the speed at 2 to cut my fabric. So I've set out my little design, and I have my little pot here that I was showing you how to cut. And what you do is you'll see this white paper on the back, and you need to peel it off. And then you need to just kind of stick your design down. And this is really, really forgiving. So, you know, once you stick this down, it's not like it doesn't just come right up. Once you iron it, it's not forgiving. But before you iron it, it's pretty good. Okay, so now again, I have my iron set on medium, and I'm going to go ahead and iron. And it really doesn't take long. You don't want to drag your iron across the edges, just so that you don't pull them up as you're ironing. And you kind of just want to give it a little time, a couple seconds across each thing, and you can kind of test it to see if it's going to pull up or not. And I think when you wash something like this, you probably want to wash it inside out, just because if you go through repeated washes, it's probably going to pull off. So I don't think, yeah, it's almost there. Just kind of want to make sure my edges are good. Yeah, I think we're done here. So there you have it. You have a cute little t-shirt, and that's it for this video. I am going to add some gold buttons right here for the pot of gold, but you know, I don't need to show you how to sew on buttons. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you got a little insight to cutting fabric with your Cricut. Thanks for watching.